Well, Assam and Mizoram today decided to maintain peace along the disputed border and have agreed not to send their respective police and forest personnel for patrolling and area domination. At a crucial meeting in Aizawl attended by senior ministers and officials of the two states, both the sides also decided against any fresh deployment of police forces to any of the areas that had witnessed confrontation and conflict in recent times. Well, this would apply to all such disputed areas along the Assam Mizoram border in districts of Cachar, hailakandi and Karimganj on the Assam side and Mamit and Kolasib on the Mizoram side. Well, the meeting also decided to continue with the dialogue process that have begun at regular intervals. Well, the two sides welcomed the initiative of Union Home Ministry as well as Chief Ministers of Assam and Mizoram to remove the prevailing tension and find a lasting solution to the boundary issue. And Mizoram Home Minister Lalcham Liana, who led the state government delegation, said that regular meetings would be held every month at the state and the district levels to pursue the matter forward. Well, Lalcham Liana stated that if any problems arise along the interstate border areas, then issues would be resolved at the local level.
We have agreed verbally that there should be a regular monthly meeting between the two states at the district level, bordering each other. And whenever problem comes up, we hope that they will solve it at the local level peacefully.
And on the other hand, Assam Cabinet Minister Atul Bora, while stating that the talks were positive, maintained that both the sides have agreed upon holding continuous dialogue for an effective solution. Bora, without confirming any particular schedule, informed that talks would be soon held at the chief ministerial level officially.
মাননীয় গৃহমন্ত্ৰীৰ নেতৃত্বত আজি এটা হাই লেভেল ডেলিগেশ্যনৰ লগত আমি খুব সৌহাৰ্দ্যপূৰ্ণ বৈঠকত মিলিত হ'লোঁ আৰু বহুতখিনি কথাই আমি আলোচনা কৰিছোঁ। আমি তেখেতসকলক কৈছোঁ যে এয়া মন্ত্ৰী পৰ্যায়ত নহ'লেও বিষয়া পৰ্যায়ত মানে মুখ্য সচিব পৰ্যায়তে নহয়, ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট পৰ্যায়তো আজি দুইখন ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট, কাছাৰ ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট আমাৰ 164 কিলোমিটাৰ আমাৰ সীমা অসম মিজোৰামৰ লগত। ইয়াত কাছাৰ জিলা আছে 52 কিলোমিটাৰমান পৰে, ঠিক তেনেকৈ কৰিমগঞ্জত 12 কিলোমিটাৰমান পৰে আৰু হাইলাকান্দিত 100 কিলোমিটাৰ বৰ্ডাৰ পৰে। গতিকে তাত যিবিলাক সমস্যা সীমামূৰীয়া অঞ্চলত উদ্ভৱ হয়, এই সমস্যাবিলাক দুইখন ৰাজ্যৰ উপায়ুক্ত বা তাতোতকৈ তলৰ পৰ্যায়ত হ'লেও গৈ আলোচনা কৰিব পাৰে। তেখেতসকলে এই কথাটো এগ্ৰী কৰিছে, কৈছে মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী লেভেলতো আমি কথাখিনি অলপ পাতিম। আমাৰ মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰীক সেই কথাখিনি ইতিমধ্যে কনভে কৰা হৈছে। মই ভাবোঁ অদূৰ ভৱিষ্যতে সেইখিনি আমি তেনেকৈ বুজাবুজিৰ মাজেৰে স্থানীয় প্ৰশাসনৰ পৰ্যায়ত বুজাবুজিৰ মাজেৰে আমি বহুতখিনি বৰ্ডাৰত দেখা দিয়া ঘটনা পৰিঘটনা আমি উপশম আমি ঘটাবলৈ সক্ষম হ'ম। ইট উইল টেক টাইম, কাৰণ আমাৰ পলিটিকেল উইল আছে, পলিটিকেল উইল মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰীৰ আছে আৰু আমাৰ কাউণ্টাৰপাৰ্ট মিজোৰামেও তেওঁৰ পলিটিকেল উইলটো তেখেতে শ্ব' কৰিছে। গতিকে আমি নিশ্চিত যে ইয়াৰ সমাধান নিশ্চয় ওলাব। আই কেনট চে ৰাইট নাও, আজি যিখিনি হৈ গ'ল আপোনালোকে শুভ আৰম্ভণি বুলি ধৰক। এই 26 তাৰিখে হৈ যোৱা দুৰ্ঘটনাটোৰ পিছত আজি হয়তো আপোনালোকে বা কোনেও ভবা নাছিল যে এনেধৰণৰ সৌহাৰ্দ্যপূৰ্ণ পৰিৱেশত এটা আলোচনা হ'ব। কিন্তু এই আলোচনা হৈছে, আপোনালোকে ৱেইট কৰক। মই ভাবোঁ যে ভাল খবৰ নিতান্তই আহিব, মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী লেভেলত নিশ্চয় আলোচনা হ'ব আৰু ভাল ৰিজাল্ট নিশ্চয় আহিব। Time to, I cannot say right now.
And to know more, we are being joined live with our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain. So, Wasbir, a very big development indeed. So, what are your views about this meeting which was held today, Wasbir?
Priya, before I answer your question, the breaking news at this point in time is that the two Assam ministers, Mr. Atul Bora and Ashok Singhal, are back in Guwahati. At this point in time, as we speak, they are with Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. They're going to brief the Chief Minister about the meeting in Aizawl. That is the breaking story at this point in time. The two Assam ministers, Atul Bora and Ashok Singhal, are currently, as we speak, with Assam Chief Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. They are going to brief the Chief Minister about the meeting in Aizawl. And highly placed sources have told Northeast Live that apart from the decisions taken at Aizawl, the Assam government is now considering withdrawal of the travel advisory, cautioning people against traveling to Mizoram. The Assam government may withdraw the advisory that it had issued a couple of days ago, advising people not to travel to Mizoram due to security reasons. Now, the basic question about today's meeting, Priya, is that nobody thought that the situation along the border would reach a level where the two police forces would be engaged in gunfire, resulting in the death of 6 Assam policemen and injuries to 40 others. But again, if nobody thought that the escalation would be to this level, nobody also thought that the situation will de-escalate so quickly, leading to the Assam ministers visiting Aizawl within less than a week, within almost little more than a week after this fateful incident on 26th of July, landing in Aizawl and holding talks with 2 senior ministers of the Mizoram government. Therefore, this explains that if there is political will, everything can be resolved. Now, the 2 chief ministers, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma and Mr. Joramthanga of Mizoram, they have demonstrated just that. They have understood that the issue has to be resolved through political dialogue, and that exactly is the reason why both of them have started giving very calibrated statements in the last couple of days, leading to the de-escalation of the situation along the border. In fact, the 2 states have also demonstrated their intent of resolving the issue in a peaceful manner by withdrawing FIRs lodged against political leaders and officials of both sides. So, following this is the background in which today's talks have taken place in Aizawl, Priya, and several critical decisions have been taken. The most important decision by the 2 states at the end of that meeting at the Aizawl club is that the 2 states will not deploy police forces or forest personnel unnecessarily along the disputed border. So this is a major decision that is expected to de-escalate the situation. Secondly, they have welcomed the decision of the center to deploy the neutral force, in this case the Central Reserve Police Force, which is guarding the disputed border between the 2 states. And the third important decision which the 2 sides have taken, as stated very clearly by the Mizoram Home Minister, is that they have decided to talk at regular intervals and to resolve issues locally, whatever issues may arise at the local level. So these are some of the critical decisions taken, and we are also getting to understand now that that very soon the chief ministers of the 2 states are also likely to meet to take the discussions forward.
Right, Wasbir. And another important decision which was taken in the meeting today, that officials will now meet every month. So Wasbir, you think will it help solve the problem in the long run?
Priya, the mood in both Aizawl and Assam is that, the talks must continue. At the end of the day, these are 2 states. We are 2 neighboring states. We are not enemies. We are 2 neighboring states. There has to be a very good people-to-people contact. The discussions can go on at the government level, but the people, the civil society is also pitching in. That exactly is the reason why we saw Atul Bora and Ashok Singhal also holding discussions with 2 very influential Mizo civil society groups, the Young Mizo Association and the Mizo Jirlai Paul, the apex student group of Mizoram. Therefore, the focus is on continuing with the dialogue process. The focus is on looking for a solution through amicable negotiations, and the focus is also on good people-to-people contact and also contact at the civil society level. And the message coming out from both the government and the civil society is that the 2 people have to live in peace and tranquility, and therefore the issue can only be approached and resolved through dialogue that has to be at a frequent level, that has to be held frequently.
All right, Wasbir, thank you so much for all those details.